Welcome back to Algebra 2, Chapter 3 in this book. And I think I put 0 because it's Chapter 3. But we're doing Section 1, Solving Linear Systems. So, we're back. The last two videos, it was something brand new for Algebra 2. It was awesome. But we're back to reviewing linear systems. But toward the end of this book, the first 3 of Chapter 3 will be review. If I go too fast, go find it in Algebra 1. I do it very slow and lots of examples. And the last 3 sections will be new. So don't despair, new is coming. But we just have to make sure you're all back to speed, because most people do Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2. So you've had that year of geometry where you practiced your Algebra 1, but you didn't do it as in depth. You got good at solving for x, but maybe you didn't solve linear systems, so you need a review. Alright, so if it's linear, that means this is a straight line. It's a system, meaning that we're not just graphing one straight line on our paper, we're doing 2, and the solution is where they cross. That point where they cross is considered the solution or the answer, and it's an ordered pair. Somewhere here I've got one. Anyway, so we're going to learn, see how it says solving linear systems by graphing? We're going to learn a lot of different ways. If you remember, there's combination, there's substitution, there's graphing. So there's a lot of different ways to do this. And what they always do first is they give you 2 lines, and then they give you a point and say, is it a solution? Well, in reality, are we going through every point in the universe? No. So this is not important. They always start off making you do this, and then boom, you never do it again because you've done it. So you need to learn it just for the 1 or 2 questions on this test. But after that, this is not one of those major things, because we're going to learn all these other ways to actually solve it and not just have to guess and plug points. Nobody is doing this in real life. Alright, so anyway, so how do you do it? How do you do this an important way? We've got 2 equations, and we want to know if this is a solution. So what we do is we substitute it into the 2 equations. So this is x, that's y, so we substitute it in, and we say, does it make a true statement? Well, 3 times 2 is 6, 2 times 2 is 4. Is 6 minus 4 2? Oh, the suspense. Yes, it is. So that's good. It satisfies this one. But for it to be a solution to these, where these 2 lines cross, it has to be correct for both of them. So then we fill it into the next one. We substitute in 2 for x. We should sing the song, Substitute. It's by The Who. It's before my time too, so don't complain. And then we substitute in 2 for y. 2 times 2 is 4. Is 2 plus 4 6? Ah, the suspense. Yes, it is. So that is the answer to this system of linear equations, and nobody does this except at the beginning of the chapter. And then you just don't do it again because it's dumb. You're not going to try every point in the universe. Alright, so the next way to do it is graphing. And this is not a good way either unless you do it with your calculator. Because the 1987 way was you would graph the 2 systems, the 2 lines, you would see where they meet, you'd eyeball it and guess and see if that's the answer, and then you would go back up and do it this way and plug it in and see if it's the answer. The problem is what if it's real close? What if it's not right on the dot? What if instead of being 1, it was 7/8? You're not going to be able to see that with your piece of graph paper. And then once it's no, what do? Do you start guessing? Maybe it's 8/9. Maybe it's 7/8. Maybe it's 13/14. There's no way. So once again, this is a no good way. Sorry, math teachers, speaking the truth in love. So, but how you do it is you graph the 2 lines. So I've got my if-then chart. If x is 0, y is negative 1/3. If y is 0, x is 1/2. If you don't know how I did that, go back and watch the other video. So then you do this one. If x is 0, y is 3. If y is 0, x is 3. So I make those points, draw the lines, and it appears that maybe it's at 2, 1. But especially with my graph, without even any graph paper, it's really a guess in the dark. Okay, so graphing it to get the answer is actually a good way with the calculator. So this is the good one. It gets the smiley face. Okay, and this is what I want you to know how to do. To use your calculator, though, you have to solve both of them for y. So I'm going to do this one with the calculator. So first I have to get y by itself. Y is y not alone. It's got a 2x and a negative 3. I start with what's further away. I subtract 2x from both sides. Those cancel out. By tradition, you put x's before bare numbers. So I have negative 2x plus 1 equals negative 3y. Now y is y not alone. It's being multiplied by negative 3, so I divide by 3. Who gets divided by negative 3? Everybody! It's a pirate party! Everybody gets divided by negative 3. Yay! It's so fun! Those cancel out. 2 negatives make a positive, so this is 2/3 x, and 1 negative makes it negative, so it's minus 1/3. Now we do the same thing over here. Minus x, those cancel out, switch them, just because of the etiquette I want them switched. So y is, for my second equation, y is negative x plus 3. So now you go to your calculator, you push the y equals button, and we're going to enter these two in for y1 and y2. To put this one in for this fraction, I want you to do it this way. Push the button that says alpha, it's right here, and then y equals, okay, so let me turn it on. I go to y equals where I'm putting in my equations. I do alpha y equals, and a pop-up menu is going to pop up. I don't know if you can see it. The top one says 1n/d. That stands for numerator denominator, and it means you're going to put it in as a fraction. You put in 2/3, enter over, and put your x. Some of you, your pop-up menus don't work anymore because your calculator is old. In that case, you can put the 2/3 in parentheses, but I'd really like you to get your alpha keys working. You can download new software at the TI site. Your parent will have to register as a home educator, I think, to be able to do it. So anyway, you do alpha y enters and then enter where it says numerator/denominator. This fraction button is so nice, and you can use it in all sorts of places, and it'll help you stay out of a world of hurt, as my daddy used to say, where your calculator is thinking something should be in the numerator or denominator and it's unclear and it does your math wrong for you. Okay, so now we're going to go put in this one. So it's just negative at the beginning of an algebraic expression, it's negative. If the negative is in the middle, it's minus. And how you remember that is middle and minus both start with the letter M. So put in negative x plus 3 for y2. Then you're going to go hit graph, the button that says graph, and it's going to graph it. And you'll have your two, on your screen, you'll have your two lines, and they'll meet somewhere. But it doesn't tell you where they meet. This is what you do. You do second button, then trace, then either push number 5 or arrow down to number 5, which says intersect, and then hit enter 3 times. Enter, enter, enter. I always think that it is Dorothy with her ruby slippers clicking her heels 3 times saying, there's no place like home, there's no place like home, there's no place like home. Except it's us, we hit enter 3 times, enter, 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 and ta-da, it gives us the answer. At the bottom of the calculator, it says x equals 2, y equals 1. And there it is, there's your ordered pair, and it just, boom, gives you the answer. No guessing, no looking at weird little fractions, no trying every number in the whole universe. All right, so for 2 equations, there's 3 little situations we can have. They can have no solutions because they're parallel and they'll never intersect. That happens when they have the same slope. The term right here, like this one's negative 1 and that one's 2/3, they'll be the same and they won't intersect. The second thing is if you graph them, they actually turn out to be the same line. So they have infinitely many solutions because it's the same line. You can reduce it like a fraction and you'll realize they're the same thing. So they have infinity solutions because where they touch each other is infinity because they're on top of each other because they're the same line. And then the third situation, this is the normal situation, is they have one solution, one place where they cross, the ordered pair where the two lines meet. Alright, so that should be a review. If it wasn't and it was too hard and you don't understand it, go watch the Algebra 1 videos. I do it slow and I do more examples, because if you need more examples, go get them. Alright? Math is great. Come back and we will talk about solving these things algebraically.